So Tim, thanks for joining us for this session. The new Arab debates that you've been involved in launching here in Egypt and the region, why here and why now?
Why here? Because this is a fast-changing situation here. Politics has moved on in the last year more than it has in the last 30 to 40 years. Same in Tunisia, same with what we're seeing in Libya, in Syria. So everything is changing. We need to get young people especially, and they're the target audience and the target of our project, get them to look critically at politics, look critically at the promises that they're being made, ask the right questions, act as watchdogs in their society, keep asking questions, and more importantly, insist on getting answers. And this is a new kind of debate forum for this part of the world. All right, they had debating 1400 years ago, but up to date now, especially in this high political season, people need to know what the promises are that are being made to them and who are making these promises. So test those promises. That's why New Arab Debates is important. It gives people a platform to test the promises that are being made to them, find out whether they're worth anything, find out who is making those promises, and form judgments of their own. Play a part in politics. Start discussing your own future. Part of taking responsibility for your own society instead of being told what to do. So these are some of the ideas that brought us to New Arab Debates, and especially brought us to this region in turmoil, in political turmoil at the moment.
And do you consider that young people are ready to participate in this way, young people here in Egypt and the region?
Well, the fact that people keep turning up to our debates would suggest that some want to do that. I can't speak for the vast majority, but the people who do come to our debates do take an active part. They've thought about the issues. They want to have their say. And it's very important that they do have their say and get used to having their say. Not only is it their right to speak out and say exactly what they feel about the policies in action in their country, it's their duty as well. And it's all about civic duty. Debate isn't just about having a conversation, it's about challenging opinions, finding out what the truth of the matter actually is, and making up your mind. Also listening, and this is also a new thing about the debates, is listening to opinions that you might not like. And what we're looking for in debates, one of the key indicators for us, is to see how many people might have changed their mind during the course of that debate. They're listening, they're working out, maybe criticizing their own preconceived ideas, challenging their own preconceptions about ideas, and coming up with something new. Maybe they'll come up with new solutions to old problems. Debate has many different facets, and I think all of them are useful at this time of political turmoil in this region.
And specifically this format of debate, the New Arab Debate, it follows a certain methodology with the moderator, with two people challenging the statement of the House. Why do you consider that particular format of debate as effective?
Well, we've been using it in other parts of the Middle East for the last 8 years. We've polled extensively on the debates that we've done, and people like that format. They like the discipline that it imposes. There are two clear sides there. One is for the motion, one is against, whatever the motion happens to be. So you have a challenge, and at the heart of every debate, I think, is that word challenge. You're challenging each other's beliefs, you're challenging each other's record, challenging each other's statements, to try to get closer to the truth. It's a process of dissection, as far as we're concerned. Dissect what the other people feel, what they've said, what their record is, and then form an informed judgment, instead of just one based on preconceived wisdom.
And is there a possibility that the model can reinforce the polarization? Because it is a model whereby you're asking people to contrast the views. I mean, if we're trying to look at working towards debates and dialogue and consensus, can this model contribute to that?
I think so, especially if people have a clearer idea about how they feel about things, especially if people are listening. Everybody thinks you come to a debate to talk. Actually, you come mostly to listen. And you may listen to a lot of ideas that you didn't think you liked and haven't listened to in some detail before. Come away with something new from a debate. That's what we're saying to people. Maybe we have the power, or the debates themselves have the power, to change minds. I think that's awfully important. So it's not just to speak, not just to challenge, but change your own mind about things that you really may not have thought about in detail before.
And as you're aware, the Anne Lynn Foundation and the British Council have launched a new program called Young Arab Voices. It's a program which is aimed at training young people in the skills for debate. Do you consider this kind of program as relevant in the current context?
I think it's relevant. I actually think it's essential as well, because people need to know how to marshal their thoughts, how to marshal their arguments, how to use facts. I think the problem with discussions in this part of the world before has been they've all been based on emotion, or they're based on philosophy. Actually, what we encourage people to do, and I think Young Arabs also encourages people to do, is to think with facts, bring arguments, talk about concrete things, and using those facts, get closer to the truth, challenge other people's version of events. Again, come back to challenge. And I think the training that you're giving them enables them to do that. It's about critical thinking. It's of use in all parts of their life, not just when they play a part in politics in the region, but also in their daily lives, looking at things that directly affect them, statements that are made on TV, statements by politicians. This is a big political season here in this region at the moment. People are making a lot of promises to them. They need to know how to test that. And with the kind of training I think that you're giving them, they've been given an opportunity to do that.
And what for you are the characteristics of an effective or good debate?
I think you need clear sides, people clearly on opposite sides. I think you need people who are well matched to debate. As a moderator, I want to see both sides well represented. I want to see clear arguments on both sides of the issue. But then at the heart of every debate for me is preparation. Come with the facts, come with the information. Don't just bring your emotions. Come with a constructive way of looking at the particular issue. And again, it's challenge. It's about challenge. Challenging your own ideas, but challenging those of people who are taking part in the debate.
And as a moderator of these types of debates, how do you personally prepare for a debate?
I have to look at both sides. I look at what I think they're going to say. I look at what they've said in the past. I look at what their records are, and I'm looking for holes in their arguments. Everybody has holes in their arguments. Nobody has a monopoly on truth. So I'm looking for, if we're doing, say, two politicians, I'm looking for what they promised and didn't deliver. I'm looking for flip-flops they've made. I'm looking for lies they might have told. I'm looking for policies that they put into action and then which failed down the line. Why? Why did you say this and do something else? Challenging them on the basis of facts, on the basis of their record, on the basis of statements that they've made. So I'm looking for, in a sense, I'm the case for the prosecution. I'm not there to give anybody an easy ride. I'm there to challenge them. Challenge them to step up to the plate. Challenge them to stand by what they've said in the past, or what they've done in the past, or what they're promising to do in the future. That's the kind of way I prepare. I'm looking for the holes in their arguments. And also remembering that I'm dealing with very skillful people, people who've been media trained, people who are used to brushing off awkward questions. I need information to get through the spin. And without preparation, I can't do that. People think you can just walk into a debate or walk into a discussion. Without that information, without that homework, you don't get anywhere. If you ask a stupid question, you really do get a stupid answer. What I try and encourage people to do in the course of the debate is ask good questions based on information. That's why I work hard to try and prepare myself, not to ask any stupid questions, but to ask questions that are relevant to the people in the debate and are going to move the debate forward and open up something inside the person I'm questioning that will give us a new insight, perhaps, into their thinking and how they're going to act in future.
In terms of looking at the extensive experience you've had of debate, and what have you learned through that experience? I mean, about debate, and I mean, which kind of, in which way have you, you feel it's for you also been a learning experience in the last years of moderating such debates?
One thing I have learned is that despite all the technological possibilities available to us at the moment, when you get 200 to 300 people in a room and you really start debating a key issue, an issue important to people's lives, you get a different dynamic. Yes, you can connect people by video all over the world, but there's a reason why we've been meeting in a room and discussing and debating for a couple of thousand years now. It's a great dynamic. You can pull something out of people's heads they didn't know was there. You can come up with new ideas because people do, and I've seen it happen. You can change people's minds in the course of that conversation if you engage them. If you make sure they're 100% there in that room following those arguments. If you've got somebody on a video screen, they can be doing 10 different things. But what you're trying to create in that debate atmosphere is, it's like a workshop. You want new ideas, new thoughts, new thinking. Please come up with something new and take something away that you didn't bring to the debate. And when you get 300 minds engaged in a single room, working, thinking, talking, arguing, then you do often come up with new ideas. And I think, to me, that's the major value of debating.
Okay, that's great. Is it okay, Tim, if I just ask that, just for a final soundbite, just to go back to the question about why Young Arab Voices is relevant, but just to include the phrase Young Arab Voices.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
So it's the same question, just why you consider Young Arab Voices as an important initiative.
Young Arab Voices isn't just an important issue. Let me start again. Young Arab Voices isn't just an important initiative. I think it's essential. Essential in times of political turmoil, that people get to think clearly about what it is that's going on in their country, what promises are being made to them, how they will react to these promises. People need to question what's going on. They're being made all these promises. Everybody says, we can take you to the new land. We have the truth. We have the monopoly on the truth. People need to question that. And politicians in every society, whether it's a free society or a less free society or a society in transition, need to know that ordinary people are going to question them. I think New Arab Voices gives people a chance to act out their civic duty. I think it's important that they realize that politics isn't a spectator sport. You don't just sit in the stands and watch someone playing on the field. You as an individual in your society have to get down and start playing in that field. So the more people who do that, and more people who are trained to do that with projects like New Arab Voices, the better and better functioning the society is going to be. It's going to have people who are going to question what's going on. It's going to have people who insist on answers, who are going to be watching the politicians and making sure that they represent the views of the people. I think this project is absolutely vital to a functioning, free and democratic society.